Hey there guys, I wanted to take a moment and talk to you about ASAs and air tanks and what do they mean, what's better and all that stuff. Again, I want to say thank you to Critical Paintball, taking care of me, taking care of all my needs. Suggest if you need to buy anything online, go to Critical Paintball. Great selection, awesome customer service, great salespeople, they'll take care of you. So, what's an ASA? What does it mean? Well, this is your air tank. It can be a CO2 air tank or it can be a high pressure air tank. Doesn't matter. The big thing they're all going to have is this part right in here, these threadings. This is what's going to screw into an ASA. ASA stands for Air Source Adapter. So when you're screwing your air tank in, it's how the air gets from this into your paintball gun to let you shoot. All the ASAs are going to mount and they're all going to have something in common here. That is two things. One, if you can see on the inside of this, there's a black hole and then there's a small pin. Okay? The black hole is to allow the air that's coming out of the air tank to go into your paintball gun. That's how it gets there. It goes through that hole, goes through a hole, through a hose or something of the sort. Now the pin is for this. Okay, you'll notice this is what we call a pin valve. There's inside the round area here, there's a small little pin. When it gets screwed into this pin doesn't move, this one does. It's kind of like on a spring. It'll push in. Sometimes these will leak. So that's if someone says you have a pin valve leak, that's what it is. This is leaking. It's not sealing all the way. So as you screw this all the way in, this pin on here pushes in, your air comes out, goes through that hole inside of there, and goes into your paintball gun. So there's a few different ones here. They're all pretty much the same, but they're all a little bit different. Your stock standard one is called a duck bill ASA. It's just the round hole, the round area here you screw your air tank into. It'll have one hole. Might have two, but generally they just have one hole. This is where your air line goes. It goes up into your paintball gun, allowing it to shoot. It goes on the bottom. Your grip frame just takes two screws right here. They screw right into the bottom. If you decide, if you've got a different paintball gun and this coming out the right hand side doesn't work for you, you need it on the left hand side, you literally just unscrew these two screws, pull this off, flip it 180 degrees the other way, put it back, screw them in, boom, you're good to go. This over here is now coming out over here, goes up to your gun. Alright, so that's the duck bill. This one's made by ACI. It's pretty much the exact same as this one. Your only difference between these two is the ACI one is a little bit shorter. See if I can't move out of the way to show you this. It's a little bit shorter. So when it gets screwed in, the ACI would go here, this one would go there. And it's so this is going to have the air tank a little bit closer in than this one by, what's that, about a quarter of an inch or so. Alright, not that much. But both of these share the same. They both happen to have the holes in them and the pin. Okay, they both have threading on either side, so you can put, like this has a macro line fitting, or the hose, whatever it is, you can put on either side and then plug the other hole. That way you don't have to flip it over and over. The other nice thing with these is they both have their part here that screws into the grip frame. It's at an angle. All right, instead of it being straight up and down like this, so your air tank comes straight out. It would hold at an angle. It'll go downwards a little bit, so it might make it a little easier for you, especially with larger air tanks, to shoulder it and shoot your paintball gun. This one is made by Dye, and it's got a few differences to it. Number one, most notable, is this right here. It uses a slot, so you would need a drop forward like this, or you need a rail or something of the sort. That would mount to the bottom of the grip frame. Then you can just put this on. You can undo a screw on here, and you can move this forward or back, depending upon how you like it, if you want it further forward or further back, depending upon your air tank. The other a couple of other differences on this one, it still has a hole, but it actually has two holes. So it allows a little bit easier flow, a little bit better flow going into your paintball gun. Another thing is whereas this one still has a screw here, that's a plug actually, and it has your macro fitting, it also has one here in the front, so you can get it coming off this side, or right through the front. Okay? These are your biggest differences. What's so good about them? Well, they're cheap. They're everywhere. They're cheap. A lot of paintball guns come with this kind of stuff, standard, built-in kind of thing, if you will. They come with them. They can be replaced, but they come with them. But so they're cheap. They're easy to find. The disadvantage is when you have your air tank screwed in. You know, you get all the way screwed in, and then boom, it hits the pin, hits the other pin, air's going through. Now, you want to go and take your air tank off? A lot of you guys have experience with this. Freaks people out all the time. First off, it's really hard because this is under pressure. So whatever your pressure, it's really hard to unscrew it. And you unscrew it, and you unscrew it because literally what's going on, it doesn't, I mean, there's not a whole lot of movement here. Here, let me do that all the way. It doesn't feel to me like there's any movement. But because of the pressure, literally this is getting pushed that way from this. So it's really hard. You go to unscrew it, and you go to unscrew it. Then the second part to this is these have a bleed-off vent hole. I don't know how well you can see this. Putting my finger back here isn't going to help, I think, a whole lot to see it. But these are, I mean, I can just kind of barely see it. There's a small little hole right there. Some of them have on the side, the back, the bottom, whatever the case. Doesn't matter. They have a small little hole. Once this gets pushed far enough, it does two things. Number one, this pin in here pushes forward, stopping the air from flowing out. And number two, the air has to come out of here or else it'll just go shooting off like a rocket. So still holding on to, while it still has a couple threads holding on to it, the air comes past that little hole in here and it vents out all your air. And that's where you hear the psh, you know, do something like that. And then it's so easy to just unscrew it. But until it does that, it's really hard, really tough. It causes a lot of wear and tear on your threads. A lot of people recommend at that point in time you get grease and you put grease on the threads. Makes it easier to screw in and unscrew. Your next step up from there is called an on-off. This is another one. This is a large, long one. This one has, the big thing they'll all have is they'll have a knob here on the top. They'll have usually 1, 2, 3 ports. Well, this one has 3. Most of the time it's just 2 ports, kind of like these other ones. They'll have a port on either side. So, on either side. They'll have a port on either side. This one actually has 3 ports. One's here for the bottom, one's on this side, one's on this side. This is an older one. They tend to be rather similar to these where they'll just screw onto the bottom of the paintball gun, or even like this die one, they'll have a rail and they'll slide onto a rail. A lot of people, especially with their high-end paintball guns, really like these. What does this do that's different than an ASA? It's as simple as this. I mean, a lot of times they'll still have, I mean, this has got a nice big hole for the flow. It still has the pin. But where the biggest difference is when you screw your air tank on, this is pulled, as long as this is disengaged and it's pulled far enough back, it's not going to engage that air. The pin's not going to be pushed in. Your air's not going to be flowing right away. Okay? Then as you screw this in, it pushes this pin back further. And once that happens, then the air starts flowing and going through your system. And you're ready to shoot. Now, you're starting to run low on air, or you're getting done at the end of the day, you want to stop playing. You just unscrew this. It disengages the pin. The pin's no longer pushing against it. And you just have to vent out the air from here all the way forward to the gun, which it can be as simple as with no barrel on the paintball gun, no paint in the paintball gun, pointing it in a safe direction, or even going onto the field with your mask on. You just take 2, 3 shots depending upon how it's all set up. It vents out all the air through your system, and you can easily unscrew your air tank with no pressure at all whatsoever. Alright? This is a slightly newer version of it. Again, this has a rail right here, much like the die one. It's got a plug on this side, the plug over here, it's got everything. You've got one pin in there along with a big hole, and you have the on-off. This goes in and it goes out. Okay? Really simple, really easy. I'm going to make one more part to this video, and I'm going to show you the purging on-off. Okay?